Hey traders, TG Watkins here. It's January 16th when I'm recording this. You guys are probably going to see this on the 17th, but wanted to get this out. Basically, here you go. This is going to be the market update and what I am seeing out there. Now, we all know that November, December was a huge run, and basically everything got really, really overbought. Then what they did is they just, and it's the quotes, they just held the market up there going into the end of the year, mostly probably because of tax purposes, and they didn't want to take anything in 2023. They wanted to defer to 2024. So promptly on the first trading day of the new year, we got the market selling into. Since then, it did find an area where it could bounce, but we're seeing some negative divergences. The first thing I see here is with the Moxie indicator. The Moxie indicator on the hourly chart is below 0, even though price is above the 50. That is a negative divergence. That's what I call an inverse trampoline move. And it definitely is a don't go long right now, and it might end up being a short, saying that we're actually looking for this to move down at some point. The best case scenario is that maybe it kind of chops around and flags, waiting for support and moving averages to come up to it. Otherwise, price will probably need to head back down closer to the daily 50. And maybe, I'll put a line here, but you can see that there's a level right about there, and it's going to be interesting to see if maybe price wants to head to that direction. The other thing is if we go look at the internals, so let me kind of show you this, and we can look at breadth. So here, we can see the number of stocks over their 20-day, 50-day, and 200-day SMA. And again, that November-December rally got everything just absolutely pegged to the high side. There was no place else for everything to go, and so we started to get a pullback, and we just started to see that here with the 20-day, and you can see how quickly this is starting to peel off and head down. Essentially, this is good, because if the market is going to go up eventually and do the next cycle, we need to see this come down. It looks like typically you could expect that to come around the 20% area. It might dip a little bit further, but if 20% of stocks get to are above their 20-day SMA, that seems to be about the right area. And then you could also see here the number of stocks over the 50-day SMA. It's taken a while for that to burn off, but we're finally starting to see that come down. And that's simply because if you look at the S&P, I mean, this was such a big move that there's a large gap between where price is and where their 50 is. But let me show you a couple examples just so you guys see what's happening. Here's House, just for example, and it is going basically straight down to its daily 50. You can look at Roku, and it has already pulled back to its daily 50 and a little bit more. You could look at LMND. Here's another one, pulled back to its daily 50 and then some. You could look at UPST, Upstart, pulled back to its daily 50 and a little bit more. Comp, you look at this one. This one's probably on its way. It's at least broken the 20 and it's on its way to the 50. It could probably go further. Let's see, I think Redfin was another one, and you can see it down to its daily 50 and actually closed below its daily 50 today. DDD, which is a 3D printer, you can see it pulled back to its daily 50 and then some. So I just kind of show you there are just so many stocks out there that are doing this. That the market will probably end up doing something similar. So we'll have to see that either it'll go right to the 50, maybe a little bit low, maybe a little bit higher, something like that. But I'm looking at this, and clearly everything was overbought, and I'm seeing a lot of names starting to move down. Now, another benefit of the Moxie indicator, if we look at $SPXA50R, this is the number of stocks over their 50-day SMA. Yes, I showed it on stock charts, but I want to show you that when you use it here, with Thinkorswim and the Moxie indicator, you can use the Moxie rules. And what you can see here is price was going up. Notice how the Moxie indicator was going down. There's your negative divergence, trying to give you a heads up that something, where you're losing energy, losing momentum. And then there's your Moxie price trigger, meaning that energy and momentum for this time frame has gone negative. But because it was the holiday, the end of the year, and all that kind of stuff, and there was still momentum, it carried up. But now look at what we're seeing. We're starting to finally see the number of stocks over their 50-day SMA is starting to trend down. And you can see even the indicator is starting to come back down. Don't know how far down it's going to go. Don't know for how long it's going to go. But this was a pretty clear way that we could see that things were getting overbought and that we needed to see names and tickers start to come down and cycle to the downside. So these are all the things that I'm looking at for the breadth internals, and then we could also look at the put-call ratio. So the blue line is the number of is the 10-day moving average of the put-call ratio, and it does a pretty good job of marking the highs and the lows of the market. Now, again, with the holidays and everything, the put-call ratio actually stayed down here for quite some time, kind of like how it stayed up here for quite some time instead of just peak, peak, or valley, valley. But it stayed up there. So pretty big moves in both directions. And what we want to see, and again, this is the process that it's been going through, is we need to see the 10-day moving average of the put-call ratio start to tip to the upside. And for now, we're right kind of in the middle of this range, which means that we probably have some more downside in the market, some more weakness, until this really does start to get up towards 1 as far as the put-call ratio. So I think that's kind of the big picture, big view of what's going on. We can also look at the VIX, and you can see the VIX has stopped going down and has started to build in a level here and is starting to get past some moving averages. Now, I don't know how crazy the VIX is going to get. Of course, we don't know what the market's going to do, but this is showing that the VIX is starting to kind of just start to tick up, and there could be some bigger pops over the near term if the market does start to kind of drop and pull back a little bit. Another way to look at this as well is if we look at, say, the IWM, and it too got super overbought. And look there, there's your Moxie price trigger telling you that energy and momentum were now negative, and price now did start to fall and break below the hourly 50. And it started to find a little bit of support, but it came right into the underside of a downtrending hourly 50. The Moxie indicator still very much below 0. And so this is going to continue to trend down until we just basically see something else. We're going to have to wait for this thing to cycle back down, probably get some divergences, and we just don't know where it's going to go. So very similar to the charts that I showed you just a minute ago with all these other tickers, you can see that even the IWM is on its way back down to the daily 50. So yeah, probably has some more down moves. Of course, there are stocks that are still moving up during this time. We're seeing AMD and NVIDIA to be noted. We're also seeing cannabis. Cannabis is doing just fine right now. And so we've got those names. But I just wanted to show you guys that for the most part, things are trending down. They're pulling back. I do think it is just a pullback, and I am very interested to see where the indices start to find some strength, where individual tickers start to find some strength, and if we can actually get these things to start moving back to the upside. So let me just kind of put another line here. It's going to be interesting to see if the market, maybe even the S&P or the IWM, wants to come down here. And part of the reason I'm saying that is because there is just a little bit of a price consolidation there, and it also happens to be around the daily 50. So just kind of keep an eye on those things. And remember, if you guys are interested, I'm sure you're probably coming across this because of the Moxie Profit Pilot website, but come on over here, check it out. I think we've got some deals or coupons going on. If not, you can always talk to our customer support team. And then really just remember to come over to Twitter and check that out. I do some posting, probably going to do a little bit better about this and see what we can do in order to be a little bit more active on social media. So yeah, you can see right here doing some good stuff there. All right, guys, thanks again for checking out, and we'll see you at the next one.
Hey, TG here with Simpler Trading. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like or comment below. Also, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my market analysis. Or you can join my free newsletter with the link in the description. Good trading, and I'll see you at the next video.